Hey, Troglodytes! Welcome back to another episode of Trogly's Guitars. We need to get these packing peanuts out of the way. Alright, so today we got a 1990 Gibson Les Paul Custom, a limited colors edition. This is the translucent white. They only made 200 of this particular guitar in this finish, and these are actually pretty desirable. Because from far away, it looks, just like any other creamed out white custom Randy Rhoads vibe. But when you get up close, you can see the wood grain underneath, hence the translucent part of the white. And honestly, this is the most figured example I've seen. Maybe if I turn the brightness down, there we go. I mean, just look at all that wood grain underneath there. It's got the traditional like wood look to it. Got a knot kind of thing going there. Under the pick guard, it has kind of another one of these type things going on, so it's very heavily wood grained. This is a very nice example of a 1990 translucent white. So I mean, this guitar's in good shape. Give it a professional polish, and I mean it's pretty well good to go. There are a few things to go over, but nothing too bad. Once again, typical headstock shrinking around the inlays, the lacquer. That just happens because that's how Gibson inlays with their sandblasting technique, but it's not too bad on this one, and really they did a pretty good job on the logo. So that's just a typical Gibson craftsmanship there. Truss rod works. It's stiff, but not it's never gonna move stiff. If you needed to adjust it, you could, but it is good now. This was a player's guitar. This fretboard was filthy. There was gunk everywhere. But I've got it all cleaned up for you. Nice, freshly and oiled. There is minor fret wear. I mean, you can see some very small divots starting to form. But, definitely still playable for a good long while. Beautiful ebony fretboard on this one. So, not much to go on here. My iPad kind of froze on my end, so I'm not sure if you guys saw this, so I'll go through it again here. Alright, so onwards to the top. This is a very early 1990, so it's actually kind of got 80s pickups in it. I guess I forgot to look at the resistance on them before doing this video, but it's got all the characteristics of kind of dirty finger pickups. So it's probably just a very transitional from the 80s to the 90 498R, 490T, those types of pickups, because that's what kind of started to transition during that time. So it's kind of transitional, but definitely the older versions. So that's very cool. I like that. And it's all untouched. It's a great stock example. You've got your scratches on the pick guard, just your typical play wear on the finish itself. I mean, I tried to take some nice lemon oil to get rid of a lot of it, but as you can see, there is kind of an indentation slash scratch kind of going on there. And you got some average scratches there. Looks like there's a little bit of a ding there. And a little ding there. That actually looks like dirt. So, as I said, give it a professional polish, and pretty well most of all this will disappear. As you can see, you've got some scratches from picking, but once again, give it a nice polish, and most of that will go away. I just play these things so they just get dirty anyways. So if you're looking to do this one for your collection, this can actually be one of the harder ones to find in good shape, the translucent white. So I think there was, 4 customs and 2 standards in the limited colors series. And now for the bad of this guitar. Not sure how this happened. I mean, this probably hit like a stand or something. It kind of chipped the finish away there, as we can see there. You could, touch that up, but I would just leave it as is. You've got the same thing going on here. There's actually a little bit of wood missing out of that one. I mean, as you can see, it is very tiny, but it is there. And then I didn't even see this one until later on. I'm not sure how that one happened, but you do have some dings there. So, well, I guess this one is a late 1990, almost 91. So, those pickups are quite surprising, but they are untouched and original and error correct. Just a little later than we'd usually expect. So, limited colors edition, as you can see, and they have the U in there. Colors. Alright, and you've got the typical white Gibson custom, I don't know, this happens on every single white custom I have. It's just something that happens over age. Like, the lacquer shrinks around it, and you get these finish checks, and you get the line up along the fretboard of where it was joined to the neck. And it's also on the other side, and you've got some some finish checking stemming from that line. So it's not a break, crack, or repair or anything to really make mention of, but it is there. I mean, it's finish checking. It is what it is. It's not going to cause you any troubles. Now, something to note here, in this area of the neck, it looks like that's where a lot of playing was being done, and kind of up throughout the neck. It's kind of hard to tell with the light shining on it. Maybe if we can get it kind of like this, you can see that this guitar has been played, so some of that clear coat has actually been worn off, and that's why it looks white. This aged color is just how it's been aging. So basically, if you take the clear coat off, it's all white underneath. So that's kind of the process that's happening. You can see they were a lead player. They actually kind of bled some of the clear coat off even down here. So obviously, this was just a well-played and loved guitar. I mean, it's not trashed by any means. I mean, you do have some buckle wear here on the back. I mean, more buckle indentations. It's not like, scratching up the finish too bad. But as you can see, a plethora of dings and indentations on the back here. Once again, stock 1990 pots in there. Got a little bit more finish wear there from going up here playing like this. Woo! Original strap buttons even. That's sometimes hard to find. Got a little bit of finish wear there from strumming in that area. I'm talking right there on the binding. I'm betting you have it. Eh, well, you don't have it in the arm wear area. As you can see there is a little ding. Looks like a little bit of stand something there. Looks like that's probably where a strap kind of wore away into the finish there. Like scratched it off. Very common. So this was obviously a gigged guitar. But fairly clean for a gigged guitar. I mean, it doesn't smell terrible or anything. It just smells like the old wood of a vintage guitar. Alright, as you can see, there are a few light checks stemming from, there we go, you can see them there, from the pickguard bracket there. It's also a very common area for them to happen. It looks like it kind of bumped into something right there. So it's a slight indentation that disrupted the finish. But hey, overall, I would say this guitar is in pretty good shape. I mean, it's not 100% mint collector's condition, but with only 200 of them out there, you can't be too picky on this model. I mean, this is a great one to add to your arsenal to start playing, and it's also a good candidate to be in your collection. It comes with its original case. This is kind of an early version of this. It does not have the lid ribbon attached. I mean, you could probably find a way to reattach it, but it's got the pink blanket shroud, which was on the early ones of these. They kind of switched. Well, I guess I have the exact same case, but later, underneath this case, this is what they switched to. A little later in the 90s, kind of a little bit more velvety feel. This is what they call the pink blanket. For historical correctness, I like this one because it's just a big pink fuzzy blanket. You got some of your original case candy in here. None of it was filled out, so you've got that going for you. Combination lock, and today's price, $31.99. 5-year warranty from Gibson. So, got some cool case candy. The case is what the case is. These nice cases are very nice. Gibson actually kind of reissued them for use today. And they're nice cases. It's got wear and tear. Everything functions as it should, but you do have some wear and tear on the case. So, if you think you might be interested in owning this beautiful, rare Gibson Les Paul Custom Translucent White, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglodytes, Trogoys. You can also check out the Reverb listing and subscribe to my YouTube channel to check out all the guitars I'm selling. Hey, Troglodytes, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.